Hello, welcome, gorgeous beings of light. This is Elmara coming to you with miracle number 67 in the 100 Miracles in 100 Days project. And the fifth dimension activation, or the first step of my fifth dimension activation, and the effortless manifesting quickie. Just take a long, slow, deep breath in, or a soft, gentle one. Whatever you can manage, but the trick is to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth with a bit of sound, letting go of everything that's outside this moment and bringing your awareness within. Sorry, I'm not sure if you heard those kookaburras going off, but they were. Which is a sign of infinite abundance, so that's a good sign for me and for all of you as well. So maybe today you might like to just keep breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And the breath is filling the belly up. So if you're breathing in and raising your shoulders up, you're going to kind of get all headspacey really quick. You need to breathe down into your belly and push your belly out, and then you keep breathing up and lift your chest up that way and bring the air up into your lungs. That's a full breath, and then breathe out. If you do yoga, it's called diaphragm breathing. Long and slow, and that doesn't matter if that breath is short, soft and gentle. Just focus on the breath. And maybe if you continue to focus on the breath, while I tell a very quick miracle today. But before we begin, I'm just going to do we'll do it later. We'll do it later. Let's just get you connected to the fifth dimension. And then all the other stuff that comes will be really cool. So I just think that I want to do another awareness quickie activation as well for anybody who's only just found this channel in the last week. If you want a full awareness activation, go back to the very first one we did in early December. So far away now, forget which month it was. Early December, the first one with the big golden heart on it. So take a big breath in for me, letting out through the mouth. Then breathe in. Breathe in and bring the awareness into your hands. And then breathe in. Reach your hands up, point them to the sun, and breathe out and tie the energy from your fingertips around the sun. So make it your intention to take your attention to the sun. You'll be there in a split second, then breathe out and tie that energy around the sun. Breathe in, draw all that gorgeous energy from the sun down through your being, then out through your feet and into the core of Mother Earth. Breathe in, bring all the energy from Mother Earth back up. With your breath in, on your breath out, breathe most of it out into your being, taking the last 5% up to the sun. Then we're going to breathe in again, bring all that source light down that gives light and life to everything. Breathe out. Take the last 5% down into the sun, into the core of Mother Earth. Breathe in, bring all the minerals and nutrients, everything you need to sustain your physical life here on Earth. Breathe it out into your body. Take the last 5% up to the sun. Breathe in again. Breathe out into your 100 trillion cells and your 100 trillion telomeres, lining up all of your meridian lines with the Earth and the sun. Down, last 5% down into Earth. Breathe in. Bring all of that earth energy back up. Breathe it out into your body, last 5% up to the sun. Now, it's best to do that standing barefoot on Mother Earth first thing in the morning. If you can't do that, if it's snowing outside, you can do it inside, imagining you're standing barefoot on Mother Earth. And if you're too, and sit down and do it, or stand and do it inside. But if you're crook or sick, then you can just lay on your side and imagine you're doing that as well. You'll find that if you did that for 20 minutes, you would be feeling a whole lot better. Especially if you breathe that source light down into wherever you're sick. So breathing it down, say, into your tummy or into your sore knees. And just breathe that gold light or source light from the sun into that part of your being, taking the last 5% down into earth. Alrighty. So you can keep that breath up. If you begin to become agitated by my voice or anything, if anything is coming up, we'd be breathing into your nose and breathing it out. It's releasing what is causing you trouble. So today I just wanted to share just a very, very quick miracle that happened, I don't know, decades ago now, in my 30s, and I'm in my 60s, so we're talking maybe 3 decades ago, when I didn't have much money and I wasn't as smart as what I am now, and I didn't realize that you could manifest anything you wanted by just clearing out whatever the crap was that was going on inside of you. I hadn't learned all that. I was probably doing things like The Secret, although I don't think The Secret was out at that point. You know, I was just doing all the positive thinking stuff, you know, because that's what was around, and not actually understanding that the power was within me. I was probably still acting like a victim, actually, probably, I don't know. I'd been doing my spiritual work for about 15 years then, and I really had, and I was focused on what was wrong with me, because that's what they told you to do. But what I now know is that the more you focus on what's wrong with you, the more you create that and the more you live in victim consciousness. When I say to you to breathe into the stuff, it is not to dig into it and play around it. It is just to release it. It's just to release it. If it's coming up, then it's 99% done. But the way that you get to releasing that is just by going deeper and higher into your light, creating more frequency in you, and that frequency will dissolve that stuff. And there's a whole pile of bloody smarty people going, that's spiritual bypassing and toxic positivity or something, and you can tell they're people that are making a stack of money out of people who are, you know, kind of like still struggling, because that is old, last millennium, old paradigm healing, and it's toxic for you to stay in your shit and keep playing in it, if you want my humble opinion. So yeah, this took me a long time to tell you that, didn't it? 3 decades ago, when I had an old car, I used to just work 3 days a week, and the other 2 days I was off over in the cemetery taking lost souls home. Spoken about that before as well. But my car, and I had very limited money, just enough money to pay the rent and feed myself and pay the bills, basically. And sometimes all that got a bit titchy. I was still not charging people for healing, doing massive amounts of healing for people and not charging people money for it, because I still had the vow of poverty, chastity and obedience, and the warrior's oath and healer's oath firmly planted in my being, and I didn't even know what they were until one day Source, I could tell that as a miracle. And Jesus Christ asked me to clear them, so to help people clear them as well. So, but anyway, this particular time, we used to pray a lot for my car to go. I had bought this car and probably overpaid for it, and 10 days after I got it, the engine blew up. So it was really, you know, cost me a lot of money for an old bomb car. So anyway, my intuition would tell me not to buy that car now, but back then, and actually, to be honest with you, when I was driving along the freeway to pick that car up, I'd already put a $100 deposit down on when I was taking the cash to pay for the car. I became so nauseous, I had to pull the car off the side of the road. That back then, now I recognize that was my intuition saying, don't give him the money. And even as I was handing over the money, I was going, don't do it, because, but I just did because I really wanted a car, and then 10 days later it blew up. So big lesson there as well. So same damn car. Used to pray like anything. Used to have a big, and then the engine they put in it didn't work so well either. And so used to have all this purple smoke pouring out the back of it, which I would tell everybody was my spiritual haze. Anyway, the miracle that I wanted to tell you was that I knew that my brakes were a bit iffy. I knew that. So I used to pray a lot to get this car to go and to get it home and for me to be safe and all of those things. And do you know, this is the miracle, it's very short. Well, I just pulled up onto my verge and I was like, I just pulled up, so I pulled up onto the verge and was just leveling up in front of my house. I was doing like 1 or 2 kilometre and my foot went to the floor on the brake. And when I got out the brake and I heard this tinkle tinkle and there was not any brake pad left is what I want. There was nothing left, is the words I was trying to find there. Nothing left in the brake, the actual pad part of it, that the metal thing that the brake was set in, men would understand, it just fell out. Just fell out and fell onto the floor, onto the ground. So, you know, even when I had the littlest amount of money, I was still so divinely protected. And the fact that it never broke. And then some young people that I was giving free information to, free spiritual information, he just came around and jacked my car up and changed the brake pads for me. It cost me about $50 at the time. Instead of it cost me $400, which is what a mechanic wanted for it. So you're always divinely taken care of. I mean, the great thing about knowing all of that now is that I know when you know better, you do better. And the thing about no matter where you're at, financially or whatever, you will always be taken care of if you ask for guidance or if you ask for higher guidance or if you ask for protection. And that's certainly what happened to me a lot with that car. You know, we did a lot of crazy things with that car. You know, and I used to have to pray just to go a couple of kilometres down the road to get my shopping on a Saturday morning. So breathe. Just breathe for me. And the bus used to stop and pick me up right outside my front door or the next door neighbour's house, and then it would drop me off right outside my door on the opposite side of the road. So, I didn't really need my car much to get to work, and then I used to just go over and hang out in the cemetery on my days off. So, take a big breath in for me, and also I just want you to know this. You know, I can say, oh, that was, you know, I should have known better, blah 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 blah. But the reason I get to sit here and tell you that life is just magnificent, and you are just the most incredibly powerful, infinite being of light, is because I did go through all of that. If I was just raised in that loveliness, I doubt that people would be able to relate to me. I doubt that I would be able to transmute your darkness to light from just having a chat to you. It comes from having experienced it and transcended it, transmuted it first and then transcended it. That gives me my power. I don't need to go all quiet and lay my hands on people for people to receive a massive healing because of everything that I've experienced in my life. And so I want you to know that even if you're in the deepest trauma at the moment, seek for the light within that. Seek how you can, because what's happening in our body is a reflection of the trauma that we have been through in the past. So our past pain, there's some childhood trauma there, and it could even be coming from a past life. But if you seek not to go looking for that stuff, which is what most healing modalities do, if you seek to raise your frequency up and beyond the stuff into the light and bring the light back down and nurture your inner self, your inner child, find out where they're hurting, because no matter whether it's money blocks, relationship blocks, health blocks, I can guarantee you that underneath that there's some unhealed wound that you've not looked at yet. Just breathe for me, please. And another way to get to all that is to do the awareness activation. Just understand you are not your body, and you're not your identity, and you're not all the stuff that everybody tells you is important. You're this infinitely powerful being of light. And if you just spent time every day tapping into that infinitely powerful being of light and letting that energy raise up, it would dissolve. That is just so powerful. It will dissolve all those things that you think are the matter with you. Because they're just learned things. They're not who you were, not who you were born to be. Just breathe for me, please. And I have to tell you that some of the most powerful people I know went through the most trauma when they were younger. The most powerful people I know have gone through trauma, the biggest trauma, and they turn out to be the most powerful healers that can just heal people from just speaking with them, or from people just being in their presence. When we used to do retreats, we used to have what we call the hot seat. So people would be sitting around in a circle, but the person who sat directly opposite me, they were the person whose shit just came up. You know, their stuff, even if they were stubbornly, I remember in a retreat, one woman was stubbornly hanging on to her poop. And we're on the 9th day. Most people struggle for the first day to hang on to it. The ego struggles with them. After about day 2 or 3, they let it go. And this woman at day 9 was still fighting me every step of the way. She was hard work. And she said, I don't want to go there. I said, well, you don't have to, you know. I don't know why you paid me 10 grand, but, you know, you don't have to go there. And so I just instead of sitting directly in front of her, I just kind of moved off to the side and started, you know, patting my dog who was at the retreat. Jack was at the retreat with us. And we went to do the second round of some chanting thing we were doing, and she goes, oh, I've thought of something that's come up. Do you want to look at it or don't you? Yes, I do. Okay, so anyway, that's just how it goes sometimes. So much for this being a quick quickie. So I just quickly want to just bring your awareness within. Take a big breath in. Bring your awareness into your body. And on your next breath out, just throw your body out the window. All the stories about your body. Short, tall, fat, thin, bald, whatever. Your age, your height, skin colour, eye colour, hair colour. Toss it all out the window and just breathe. Along with all your gripes. Leg aches, back aches, neck aches, sore knees, belly aches, skin rashes, whatever. Chuck all that out the window too and just breathe. Or if it's that snowing outside, you might want to chuck it out the door into another room. Just breathe and see if you can't feel just that little bit lighter without all those stories about your body rattling around inside of you. Take a big breath in and just sense. And if you can't feel anything, that's fine. It just might take you a bit of work to get through the density of the ego. Next, I want to bring your awareness into your identity. Name, address, date of birth, phone number, type of car you drive, type of house you live in, education, degrees, cats, kids, dogs, pets, family, relatives, toss it all out the window and just breathe. Everything that says this is you and this is who you are in the world, toss it out the window or out the door and just breathe. Next, please, this is a quickie. If you want the full one, it's done on the first day. There's an epic 25-minute full awareness activation. And next, bring your awareness into all of your feelings, emotions, and opinions. Toss them out the window or out the door and breathe. Bring awareness now into all of your thoughts, your conscious mind, your unconscious mind, and your subconscious mind. Toss them out the window or out the door. Now please bring your awareness into your heart, your beautiful, beautiful, loving heart. And all the heartache and heartbreak you have stored in your beautiful heart as well, along with that great big heart wall you've got trying to stop people from hurting you some more. Toss that out the window, out the door and breathe. Feel yourself getting lighter. All this stuff we're chucking out the window is 1% of who you are. There's this 99% untapped pure potential, pure God source that exists underneath it. And we're just trying to get to that because it'll dissolve all this 1% for you anyway, if you hang out there in your 99% long enough. Now bring your awareness, please, into everything that's out of alignment with the infinite abundance and riches and wealth that exists at the core of your being. So all poverty consciousness, all lack and limitation, all scarcity and struggle, out the window, out the door and breathe. And then we want to get all anger and rage, fear, pain, suffering, all that out the window, out the door as well. And if you wish, you can go on and just add some of your own in here. You can add jealousy, envy, shame, guilt, all of those low frequency energies. Just toss them all out the window. They're not you. They're not you. We're all born to love one another. Hate and all those other envy, whatever, they're all learned behaviour. A child is not racist. A child is trained to be racist by its environment. I saw this gorgeous picture the other day. I'm so sorry I didn't take a picture of it and take a copy of it now, of a little white child, maybe 2 or 3, you know, and there was all these about 4 black older children, maybe 6, 7, 8 years, about 4 or 5 of them. And it was just this little child like reaching out and touching the children, you know, the older children, with that caption. Children are born to love, they're taught to hate, and it's so true. Just breathe for me. So if you have any of that other stuff, if you hate your mother-in-law, your sister, your brother, whatever, if you've got any of that stuff going on, toss it all out the window as well, or out the door, and just see if you feel lighter without carrying all that crap around with you. If you have this, like, you know, this religion's better than that religion, this race of people is better than that race of people, this skin colour is better than that skin colour, all learnt rubbish. Throw it all out the window. See if you don't. Feel so much lighter. And when you get into the soul of who you are, that light, if you ask it to, will dissolve all those lower frequencies anyway. Breathe. And it's in this place of being fully connected to your light, to your divine I am presence, that you ask, how can I do this? How can I manifest an extra $5,000 a month? How can I meet my soulmate? How can I get a pay rise at work? How can I have a fit and healthy body? And then just breathe, let it go, and listen to the intuitive hits that come your way. That's the most important part. Alrighty. Love, love, love. My deepest love and richest blessings to you all. I look forward to being with you again tomorrow. Bye for now.